Hi everyone, welcome to a Stamping to Share video. My name is Kay Kalthoff and today I'm going to share with you how to create these two cards. Now these two cards use Sale-a-bration products, which I'm not allowed to show you as far as stamp sets and tools go. So I did go ahead and do the pre-stamping for you, and I used the Big Shot in advance for the decorative dots folder. I think it's okay for me to show you the designer series paper that we're using. This is also a Sale-a-bration product that you can get free when you purchase $50 during Sale-a-bration in Stampin' Up!, which begins on January 28th and concludes on March 31st of 2014. This is the paper, and the paper that I chose to use today is this one with the dots. And then I have a couple of designs that my customers can pick from using either the dots or using the green. You'll notice that this one uses the dots and it's a birthday card. Really like it. And then this one uses the green side of that designer paper, and it's the one that has the little alligator see you later stamp, which is also super cute. But I saved the best for last. My very favorite stamp in this particular set of stamps, called See You Later, is the You Make Me Happy When Skies Are Gray stamp. I just love that one. It reminds me of my grandmother. She used to sing You Are My Sunshine all the time when I was a little kid, and so I've got good memories of that. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to need is some basic black paper, cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. I've already gone and done this, and so it is ready to be layered. The next thing that I needed, or decided I needed to create this card, was some Sahara sand paper. I've run this through the Big Shot using the Decorative Dots designer folder, which is another one of those Sale-a-bration products that you can get free with a $50 order or a $50 increment on your order. The paper will need to be cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then of course run through the Big Shot. And then we have our Sale-a-bration paper, and again you can choose to use the dot side or the green side depending on what appeals to you the most. That needs to be cut at 2 by 4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and layer this right on here with my glue. And again, I'm using glue because I want it to grab in all of the crevices. Snail on textured paper doesn't do quite as well, just because it won't reach in and grab those crevices. So I'm just gluing this strip of 2 by 4 inch designer series paper right along the top of the textured piece that I have that's 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Then I've got some summer starfruit stitch satin ribbon, and I'm just going to cut that so that I can take a piece of Scotch tape and just bring that around and secure that in the back. And I'll do the same for the other side. And I'll get that secured. Alright, and now we can go ahead and we can just adhere this right to the top of our card because nothing else needs to be wrapped. Nothing's more frustrating than securing a panel down to your card and then discovering that you forgot to wrap your ribbon. I'll bet that's never happened to you, has it? Oh, I'm kidding. I know it's happened to everybody out there. Alright, so we've got this ready to go, so our card is coming along. Then let's go ahead and do the inside panel of our card. You're going to need some Whisper White cardstock cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and I also like to bring the design from the front of the card into the inside of the card, and I do that with a 1/2 inch by 4 inch strip of designer series paper that I just went ahead and adhered to the bottom edge. Then I can take some snail and just putting one little strip at the top, keeping the card nice and flowing. I'm just going to put this down right like that. So the inside of our card is complete. Then we're going to need a couple of more pieces of paper. We'll need a 3 by 4 inch piece of Whisper White paper and a 3.5 by 4 1/4 inch piece of the Summer Starfruit paper. And what we're going to do is we are going to be stamping our image onto the Whisper White, and I gave you a little bit of extra room here because I know that when you put the framelit on, sometimes you have to move it around to get it to look just right. So that will, when that's cut out, that's translated from here. And let me show you what framelit I used. So these are the Deco framelits, and the Deco label framelits. This is the one that I use to cut out the sentiment. It's the number 2. I always label them 1 through however many there are, and I start from the center. So using number 2 for my words, and then I use number 3 for this particular piece, the 3.5 by 4.25 inch piece. So that is also run through the Big Shot, and you will end up with a piece that looks like this. So now all we have to do is secure this to our card, and that's easy to do. I'm just going to take a little snail to the back of this Whisper White piece where we have our stamped image. Just center this onto the Summer Starfruit label, and then we're going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'll just put one on each corner, just like this. And then of course we take the little peelies off, and we are ready to put it on our card. So I like to center it by taking these little peaks at each end, and I just center that so it's centered right into my ribbon. And the front of our card is almost done. I say almost because I debated if I wanted to put a ribbon or something on here just to give it a little more, I don't know, a little more oomph. And then I came up with the idea of using one of these punches. These punches are Itty Bitty Punch Pack, and I'm just going to use the circle one. There's a circle, a flower, and then a 4-petal flower. So just using the plain circle one, and some, how about some scratch paper here? I've got some Summer Starfruit scrap paper. So we're just going to punch out 2 little circles, and then we're just going to add them to some glue dots. Right here they are. So I'm just going to set these little circles right on top of a glue dot, and then to get them transferred to my card, all I do is take my paper piercer, and I can set that down right where I want it. And do the same thing for this one. And just that little bit of extra at the bottom adds so much to your card. I just love it. And so there you go. Here's all 3 cards if you'd like to see them. And then of course the green one with the alligator on. Have a great day, and thanks so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.